Too many people pick up a credit card based on a cool offer, maybe an article that they read that doesn't even apply to them, or assume that what a family member has is just the best way to go. And that's how they fall into an ecosystem that doesn't work whatsoever for their lifestyle and their spending habits. There are a lot of credit card issuers out there, and in fact, all of them want to convince you that their credit cards are the best to build your entire wallet strategy around. So, how do you know which ones are actually worth going after and which ones simply won't fit? Well, that's what this entire video is about. I'll use a real rating system and explain the best and the worst in each category to help you decide what's really right for your own life. This is going to be a fun one, so let's dive right on in. Okay, here's what we're getting into today. Think of this like an Olympics for credit card issuers. I'm going to rate 8 very important credit card categories across gold, silver, and bronze. By the end of this, you're going to be well equipped to know which sort of credit cards you want to look for next and find a wallet setup that actually works for you. Let's start with category 1, welcome bonuses. This is such an important category because credit card users statistically underestimate the vast influence that a great welcome bonus will have on the total value that you'll ever get from a credit card in your lifetime. So finding the right bonus and being patient with the biggest ones, that's a major key to success in this game. Taking gold is American Express, followed by Chase with the silver medal, and finally Capital One rounding out in third place. Quite simply, American Express leads the way here with the biggest welcome offers you'll see, generally speaking, on any credit cards. Leading the way are ones that we've seen in the last year, like 175,000 membership rewards points on the Platinum card and commonly 100,000 on the American Express Gold card. Now, if you're using the links below and you don't see those offers, well, that's because an annoying downside of these is that American Express uses dynamic targeting, meaning that one day you may be eligible and you may be targeted with those offers, whereas the very next day you may not see them at all. It even could depend on what browser you're using, so try a few different links and you'll probably stumble eventually into one of these incredible offers. Chase takes the silver, but just by a sliver over Capital One. Chase has been offering a standard 60,000 point welcome offer on their $95 Chase Sapphire Preferred for the longest time, and that's an incredible return on value. Their other Freedom Series cards are pretty standard, where you're looking at about $200 to $250 in cash, although what puts Chase over the edge into second is that for limited times, they'll often give bonus earnings categories in the Freedom Series or enhanced earning rates on those cards, which can really add up over the time that they're open. Still, not a bad issuer whatsoever is Capital One. You're going to see a stellar 75,000 mile offer worth at least $750 on their premier cards, the Venture X and the Venture Rewards card. And then you'll see very similar to Chase style offers in about the $200 range on cards like the Capital One Saver Rewards. Generally speaking, any three of these issuers do a great job with frequent and high welcome offers. And if you want to be notified as to when those come up, just subscribe down at the link below and you'll be able to customize the offers you want to see and get notifications when those are live. Let's look at category 2. Cashback earnings. We've got 3 new issuers on the medal stand here, with Bank of America taking first, Citi coming in the silver, and in bronze, Wells Fargo. Bank of America cards are simply the most dominant because of the Bank of America Preferred Rewards program. This program offers 3 different tiers, and essentially the more money you bank with Bank of America in that relationship, the higher your credit card rewards can be boosted. This can go all the way up to a 75% boost on every category if you keep $100,000 or more in some form or way with Bank of America. Now, what does this actually work out to? Well, you can get the powerful customized cash rewards and pick a 3% category and gets boosted up to 5.25% cash back. You can get the unlimited cash rewards card in tandem and its $0 annual fee and get that boosted up to 2.625%. No other issuer can beat that consistently. For people who don't have or don't want to keep that much money with Bank of America, well, the Citi Duo is going to work out great. That's the Citi Double Cash Card, a flat 2% cashback card combined with the Citi Custom Cash Card, one of the most versatile credit cards out there that automatically assigns 5% cash back on your highest spending category up to the first $500 of spend in a month. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's just a great cashback strategy. Coming in third is Wells Fargo. And of course, you have the Wells Fargo Active Cash, which is their version of the flat 2% card. And then you've got some other cards that offer some really nice enhanced categories to boot. You could throw in the $0 autograph card and the $95 autograph journey card, and you're in a really good place with a lot of variable earnings categories. With any of these issuers, it's easy to pass my benchmark of at least 2% cashback flat across the board, and you're going to be in a really good place. However, let's transition in category 3 to earning points and miles. This is where credit card enthusiasts like myself spend a lot of time, because as compared to cash back, where 1 cent is worth 1 cent when redeemed, well, with points and miles, 1 point might be able to be increased in value to be worth 2 cents or even more if you're redeeming in the right places. Winning gold in this category is Capital One, followed by American Express, and then winning bronze is Citi. The case for Capital One winning gold is quite clear. The VentureX is the driving force between Capital One being the best of the best for earning points and miles and getting them into your account. That's because it earns that flat 2x back on everything you buy, no matter what, but it still has those really advanced earnings categories with the ability to earn 10x and 5x on various purchases inside their own travel portal. If that wasn't enough, you can add the Savor Rewards card and earn 3x back on dining, streaming, and entertainment. Pool those points together, and it's just a massive inflow of points. American Express is, of course, no slouch either, led by their industry-leading Gold card, which gets you the 4x in dining and restaurants. And then the Platinum card is a heavy hitter too, allowing you to earn 5x points back on flights booked directly with airlines, which can be a massive advantage for people who travel quite frequently. Finally, if you really want to commit to Amex, you do have the Green card with those nice 3x categories there. And if you can justify a business card, the Blue Business Plus will get you that flat 2x back on all non-category purchases. Why I put Citi in third is it doesn't pack as much of a punch as the first two issuers in terms of pure volume of points. However, you cannot ignore the Citi trifecta, with the Citi Strata Premier getting you 10x back on hotel and car rentals, plus 3x back in air travel, restaurants, supermarkets, gas station, and electric vehicle purchases. You pretty much have it taken care of right on that card. But of course, you can add the Citi Custom Cash and the Citi Double Cash working beside you, and you've got a lot of points coming in the door. Now, before we jump into the next section, while we're talking about point earnings, I have made dedicated videos about ways and strategies to maximize your point earnings if you're working with a Chase or an American Express heavy setup. I highly encourage you to check out those videos because that will take your point earning strategies to a whole another level. Okay, let's look at category 4, travel perks and benefits. Our big three all placed in this specific category, led off by American Express in first, Capital One in second, and Chase taking third. You all had to see American Express coming as the best issuer in this category. Of course, you have to start with the Lounge Access, which is the premier travel perk that credit cards can offer, with the Centurion Lounge leading the way, but also Priority Pass, Escape Lounges, Delta Sky Clubs in that network. It is the best of the best, and it's the best issuer for Premier Lounge Access. However, you can't ignore the two different hotel statuses you can get, rental car status as well that come on the Platinum card, and just an incredible array of different perks, benefits, and experiences depending on what you want to take advantage of that mostly comes on that Platinum card. Now, I like Capital One in second because of the value that you get in terms of high quality experiences without having to pay an incredibly high price. And it gives you a little bit of a yin and yang compared to that first place American Express. Capital One lounges are still extremely high quality, some of the best I've ever been in. And while there aren't a lot, you also get that Priority Pass access that includes Escape branded lounges there. You also get rental car status through Hertz as a President's Circle tier member, and you get a standard TSA PreCheck or global entry credit, whether you get the VentureX rewards or the Venture Rewards card. Chase being in third is not a diss whatsoever to Chase, and I do expect Chase to be making some serious moves with the announcement of the refreshed Chase Sapphire Reserve card, which could be dropping any day at the time I'm recording this video. Still, Chase has a great lineup of lounges and associate lounge networks that you can get into as well. The Ritz-Carlton card is still a very underrated part of the Chase lineup with some incredible benefits and status through Marriott if that is your hotel brand of choice. And you're getting all of this still for a fairly reasonable cost. However, we'll see what the annual fee on the Reserve card bumps up to when that refresh is announced. Now, speaking of annual fees, let's look at category number 5. The issuer with the best annual fees is going to be Wells Fargo, followed closely by Citi, and then Chase brings up the rear in third. Now, you have to give credit where credit is due. Wells Fargo has a stellar lineup of credit cards if your goal is to keep annual fees at an absolute minimum. You're looking at pairing cards from Wells Fargo like the $0 Active Cash, Autograph, Attune, and the Bilt MasterCard is in that bubble as well. All completely free to hold and packed with some serious value. If you want to pair that all together with the Autograph Journey travel card, well, it's only going to be a $95 annual fee. Part of me wonders if this is still in effect back from their shenanigans in 2010 with different customer accounts and all of the activity that they were accused of in that era. And that's why their credit cards have to be very low-key, low annual fee to get the trust back with people joining their network. Next, I want to give a lot of credit to Citi, who has still kept annual fees low, despite often trying to compete with the big boys in Chase, Capital One, and American Express. We've already said that you can get the entire Citi trifecta for just $95. And if you wanted to call it a day there, well, you're going to have a great credit card setup. Still, even if you want to branch out into their partner airline, American Airlines, well, a lot of the American Airline Advantage cards are still really good. They have a $0 option, a $95 option, and even their premium travel card, the American Airlines Advantage World Elite MasterCard, well, it's only $595. And I say only because it's still a great deal cheaper than the other competitors in that premium airline credit card space. Last but not least, Chase takes third with their powerful but fee-friendly Chase trifecta. For category 6, I want to take a look at simplicity. This is a category that counts if you're just trying to get a lot of value for not a lot of work and spreadsheets and always having to think about what your credit cards are doing. That's what simplicity is all about. Taking gold in this category is Bank of America, followed by Robinhood in silver, and Citi taking another bronze. Bank of America has a clean and straightforward lineup. Like we talked about before, you can hold the unlimited cash rewards card and the customized cash rewards card and maintain about 2 to 3% in standard cashback earnings and whatever you buy for a $0 annual fee. I wanted to sneak Robinhood in here as a silver card because there is a case to be made for the Robinhood Gold card being a flat 3% unlimited catch-all card that really would beat out a lot of more complex setups with just one card. The negatives of this card are that it's still fairly new, and some people have been able to get off the wait list and be using this in real time today, whereas others are still blocked from using it, and there's a lot of uncertainty as to when the full rollout will be complete or if it will ever be complete. Finally, when you work with Citi, again, you look at the Citi trifecta, you've got the flexibility between cash back or using thank you points for travel, and it's a really easy to understand, very straightforward system of credit cards. We're going to close today with 2 really important categories if you care about travel. First, category number 7, domestic redemptions. Taking first, you guessed it, is of course Chase, followed by American Express, and then in third, Capital One. For Chase, you cannot beat the lineup of JetBlue, Southwest, and United, all as direct transfer partners from the issuer. Not to mention, you've got a bunch of potential good airline partners and alliances to tap into. We've got Air Canada in the Star Alliance, Air France in the SkyTeam, and British Airways in the One World Alliance that are all very useful partners. For American Express, they've got the longest transfer partner list of any issuer, so that's always a good place to start. On the domestic side, you're going to get JetBlue, Hawaiian, and a personal favorite, Delta, where we've already talked about the benefits of combining the American Express Gold card with a Delta SkyMiles card on this channel and just how profitable that can be if that's a part of your travel strategy. The Amex travel portal is certainly nothing special, and I do want to flag you that redeeming for hotels inside of that portal results in only a 0.7 cent per point valuation as opposed to the standard One. And bringing up the rear for the bronze medal is Capital One, though I was strongly considering Citi potentially for this spot. Both of them have similarly meh transfer partners. However, Capital One does bring to the table British Airways and Air Canada, which you could use potentially to find American Airlines flights or United Airlines flights respectively within their alliances for some surplus value. However, additionally, in Capital One's favor, I think their portal is vastly superior. I love using it and I like the tools in there, so I have no problem putting them number 3. Finally, we've reached international redemptions, category number 8. In first now is Capital One, followed by American Express, and winning the bronze medal in this category is Chase. Capital One has an awesome and lengthy list of international transfer partners. Combine that with what we already talked about for how easy it is to earn miles, well, you can earn and burn and really make some international trips happen with the partners on this list. Also, a big factor is when you actually get outside the country, all the Capital One cards that you're going to use to travel have that no foreign transaction fee status and should be accepted pretty much anywhere, making your travel experience very seamless and naturally easy. However, on the other side, American Express does also have those top tier international transfer partner options, giving you plenty of range whether you want brands that specialize in business class and first class flights, or you're looking for something cheaper on the economy side just to get you out of the country. However, the downside is a lot of American Express cards aren't really widely accepted internationally, so you may have to tap into a whole nother issuer when you're planning to spend while you're on your vacations. Finally, Chase on the other side has their own list of international partners, although nothing that's going to completely knock your socks off. So there you have it. We've categorized, ranked, and awarded based on the best of the best in different categories that matter to most people when selecting an issuer. This is going to help you from getting stuck in the wrong ecosystem so you have cards that you can actually work with to achieve the goals that you want. Of course, you're probably wondering, what's the overall standings look like? Well, American Express and Capital One led the way with the most golds, followed by Chase taking third place just based on their 1 gold medal in the rankings. However, it was really well spread out. I'd encourage you to look at these categories and look at what matters to you, and then start to focus on what those issuers do well. No one issuer is going to be perfect, but there may be a perfect issuer for you specifically depending on what you're looking for, and it's at least a great place to start. I gave out a lot of gold medals today, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Lastly, there's one thing I'd love to know in the comments. What do you guys disagree with me on? Where did I completely get this wrong, or where do you really feel like I got this right? Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.